No, it's nice to meet you. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to begin. I know I've not got too long today, so I'll just kind of get started. But I'm just
No, it's
interested
okay.
originally kind of what it was that kind of attracted you to getting involved in this project and what the kind of casting process as well was like to play the role of Alexis.
The process was first, I'm a mom now, but I wasn't a mom before, so I really had to find that substitution role with figuring out, okay, how can I make the viewer the believe in Alexis as me playing her. So I had to like find, someone in my life that if they were taken from me and, basically what the plot is of the movie. And really channeling and figure out how I could make that relation to her. So this is my first action movie and my first lead role. So it was like the pressure was super on me, and I really had a lot to prove to everyone. And I feel like I did a great job.
Yeah, no, you absolutely did. And it's interesting because obviously, though, it's a film that has, like you mentioned, it's got action in it and it's got some quite light-hearted elements to it as well. You are
Yeah.
playing a character whose daughter has kind of gone missing and is in great kind of peril. So, was it quite a challenge to kind of connect to that side of the role and all those kind of human themes amidst all the sort of action set pieces that were taking place?
Um, I thought about I it wasn't really that challenging to me because I thought about my little sister and if someone was to take her and how would that feel for me. But now that I'm a mom, it's like if I was to redo Alexis, it would be a different type of hunger that I have. But it was just like the relations and the correlations and my substitution, I would do it again, and I feel like I did it great.
Yeah, yeah, because obviously you are a recent mother, so huge
Yeah.
congratulations on that. But
Thank you.
do you think if you played, so yeah, if you played the role now compared to when you did, do you think you'd approach it differently or connect to the character in a different way?
I feel like I'll definitely have a different connection to her. It will be more personal, because it's nothing like fighting for your child, your blood, and um, and Alexis' love for Tiana was so strong, and it was kind of like that rejection that Tiana was giving her constantly, so fighting for your daughter and she's fighting you.
I've got my first baby's due in 2 weeks. So
Oh, wow.
have you got
Congratulations. You
have you
having a
got
boy or
any?
girl?
I don't know. It's going to be a surprise, which is quite exciting. I mean, I'm not going
That's
to lie.
awesome.
I could have found out, but my wife really wants to keep it as a surprise.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome. So what do you like buying like tans and
yeah,
color?
yeah,
You
lots
just
of
keep,
kind of we painted the room a kind of lightish blue. We got some nice greens and yellows and stuff like that.
yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations to
Thank
you
you.
both.
Have you got
It's the
any?
best.
Yeah, have you got any advice? Because you're obviously what, like a month in. Is there anything that you need to impart on potential parents to be?
Well, definitely for Momsy, I would definitely say, um, don't forget to put yourself first. Don't forget to pour into yourself. Don't forget to like do simple things like maybe going to get a manicure, going to get a pedicure. You still have to still do things that make you happy. And dad, she has you there, so be by her side. If you get yelled at a few times, don't worry. If she forget a few times, it's mom brain, but just be patient.
Okay, I'm going to play that video.
It's rewarding. It's the best thing ever, I'm telling you.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask because you mentioned obviously this is like your sort of first action film and stuff. But have you had that kind of an ambition to act right from a young age, right from when you were a little girl yourself? Was it something you always wanted to kind of get into?
Honestly, I never seen it for me until I actually got hired they wrote me into a film, and I had a role, and then I did another role, and it was like maybe I was like number four in the call sheet. It wasn't a big role, and I'm like, I just had that hunger. Like one day I'm gonna get a lead role. One day, and that was always a dream of me after experiencing what it's like as an actress. So once I did it, it was like I wanted it more and more and more. And now it's just like I want all lead roles. Like I want more and more. So it was kind of something that I tested out, and I fell in love with it,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
ever since.
because you've had this sort of your career's just kind of gone from strength to strength. Do you consider yourself to be quite an ambitious person?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I'm ambitious. I feel like, I'm growing and glowing and learning and maturing and, you know, living my dreams in the process.
And even of course you're used to kind of performing sort of live and to kind of big crowds. How does it differ when you're kind of on a set and you're playing a kind of character? Is there a kind of sense of kind of being protected by the character, or do you think that in some ways it's still quite an exposing kind of situation? Do you think it brings out a kind of a different kind of nerves than going on stage, for example?
I honestly feel like with acting is like you're able to hide behind these characters and channel in and be different type of people. So I feel like that plays a big role. It's like whatever direction the character is going, you have to embody it and channel it. But I do feel like music and acting, they kind of meet somewhere because you cannot perform a song and people can't believe it when you're performing your lyrics. So same thing with acting. It's like you have to perform these lines and you can't sound like you're reading it, and you have to really embody it and kill it. It's kind of like they meet somewhere along the line.
And obviously, because
Yeah.
there's crossover in this, obviously with
Yeah.
NL when Ellen and Chopper as well. You've both got these kind of musical backgrounds. Was it quite a
Yeah.
musical set? Was there a lot of musicality to the shoot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
NLE was awesome. He was great. And even with his characters, like it's the totally opposite of who he really is, you know? But both of us, we did a great job and it was great work with him. The cast, the crew, Jason Mitchells, everyone was just awesome. It was like a family.
Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
to ask about working with Jason because he's a great actor. I loved him as Easy as
Great.
straight out of Compton.
Yes.
What was he like? Because obviously on a shoot like this, you guys have to have a real hit. When as an audience member, we have to believe you guys have got this real history and this real kind of bond, and you guys had that chemistry. Was that something that kind of came quite instinctively and quite naturally to you both?
It was kind of like that was the first time I ever met Jason, but immediately it's like we clicked. Like, growing up, not really having it like that, and now we both like able to channel. Well, he's a father, but I wasn't. But it was like I was literally like a sponge on set with Jason, absorbing all the advice and just the way he is. It's like he's welly seasoned, and I'm like, okay, he kind of like took me under the wing, and anytime where it would get difficult on set, we were both there for each other. And we really grew with each other, a bond. And I would never forget it.
And how about working under Wes as well as a kind of guide and a kind of the captain of the ship in some ways? What was he like as a filmmaker, as a director?
West is amazing. He gave me an opportunity of a lifetime, and he really believed in me, giving me this opportunity, and I will work with him a hundred more times. He's awesome. And he was even there to like coach me and give me advice, and because life be life and when you be on set. So he was really there to guide me throughout the whole way, and it was amazing. I cannot complain about it.
So what's looking at kind of heads for you now? What's kind of coming up? Do you plan? Obviously, you mentioned you want to have kind of more leading roles. Do you plan to kind of balance the music and the acting still going?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's crazy because when I was in labor, I auditioned for a role. When I was in That's how crazy I am. Like I auditioned for a role and I had to submit my tape, and I was like, I have to audition before I go to the hospital. I don't want to regret not sending my tape, Stefan. I was like, I have to do it. So I have to music is my baby, but it's like acting get to show I get to showcase a different side of me. So I love both of them, and I will keep doing it and keep doing them and keep doing them. And also I feel like with acting it's like no age limit to it, where it's like you could be 90 years old and still getting booked for roles. Like it really has no timing on it.
But obviously, as someone who is obviously you've been so busy across the years, right at the moment, are you able just to kind of take a bit of a step back and enjoy just kind of parenting, I suppose, or are you still kind of eager to kind of get back out there?
Well, with my little breaks that I get, my little naps, because you're gonna get a lot of naps,
Yeah.
and try to nap. But I'll do things like I have a home studio, so I'll record, um, or I'll do like my content with my influencer platform, and I just try to still work and still take care of my child. my daughter. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to stop doing something and focus on one thing because, you know, I still am trying to be her role model, the person that she looks up to, and just show that you don't have to, you can still juggle everything. You don't have to stop it like mom first, but baddie immediately after.
And how old do you reckon she's got to be when you sit down and watch Black Heat together?
I'm gonna be like, do you know that I was playing a role being a mommy and now I'm a mommy when it came out? Oh, but we're gonna keep it like teens when she's a teenager, so she know we can never do this.
That must be a great, it must be a great thing as a creative, like an artist like yourself, to one day be able to share your art
Yes,
and your creative expression with your child. I think that's a great.
yes, I cannot wait. I'll be talking, I'll be like, do you know your mom is that girl? Like, you don't even know. Like, and even when I'm working and like, for example, when I was like walking on the runway and she was in my belly, or you know, I try to like I have film cameras, so I try to take as much film camera so I can show her back this is what I was doing while I was 8, because I worked my whole pregnancy. 8, 9 months, I'm still working. You know, I stopped traveling after 8 months, but I still was working. So I want to be able to show her that so she can know like it's no limit to whatever my dreams are.
And just my final question, because I'm sort of out of time really, but I'm just interested to know, because you obviously with your wanting to kind of do more acting in the future, is there a kind of, you've done a bit of action, have you got other sort of types of roles you'd like to do, or other people in the industry you'd love to work with? Do you have a kind of wish list to some degree, or do you just like to take it as it comes?
I really want to do a scary movie because I'm scared of scary movies. Like I'm scary. So I feel like not only will that be like me challenging one of my fears, I feel like I will do a great job because I really will be scared. But that's one thing I really want to experience doing a scary movie. It's like it might be hard because I'm really scared and I have to work and I have to act like I'm not scared. But I really wanna do one, or even like a comic. Or I really want one of my big goals is to be able to be like on have like a series, like something that's come it's like different seasons, something that, you know, has a lot of growth to it. So hopefully we'll be back for a Black Heat #2,
Yeah, I was
part
gonna
2.
say, yeah, that'd be great. And hopefully
Yeah.
you audition for when you're in labor. I hope you get that part, because that's commitment.
Me too. Me too. Thank you so much. And congratulations again to you and
Yeah,
your
thank you so
wife.
much. And your advice was great, especially about the not taking being shouted at to heart. I think I might need to remember that when the time comes.
Yeah, you just got to be a punching bag a little bit. It's going to get a little challenging, but just do it. Happy wife, happy life.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll catch up.
Thank you.
Well, cheers.
Thank you, Stefan. It's been a pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!